It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas Sunrise. We're up there early on another fantastic Friday, and it's fantastic because you're up with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tamika Cartwright.
And we hope you had a great week this week. Looking forward to the weekend and kicking it off in the best way possible with us here on Bahamas Sunrise.
Both of us. Little tongue twister.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day already.
I guess, yeah, the day just started.
Oh my God.
We hope you all had a great week. You know, there's a lot going on in the news. The bell ring. All the voter registration is closed. Everybody got all their voter's card, their biometric card. Everybody is ready. Election day coming.
That's right. We hope everyone's ready.
Well, yeah, most
We
people
hope they are.
Judging by, you see online, seeing the lines outside of the registration areas, and then, they said it was the most persons that have registered so far to vote. So, hey, it might be an exciting year.
It might be.
It is turning up, everybody. Just remember to campaign responsibly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Be fair. Don't talk bad with people.
No.
Stick to the issues. Let me give y'all some cheat code. Beach access. Everybody need to talk to your member of parliament, your prospective representative about beach access. Make sure that you, as a Bahamian, have access to a beach in your area.
There
Don't
we
worry,
go.
keep watching and give y'all some more points. We got more coming up in the show. Just to remind y'all, we going to Eleuthera. For the Eleuthera, we're going to be in the south first on the 16th for Business Outlook, and then we headed north to Bryland. So nice, we got to do it twice. Please join us in Eleuthera. Eleuthera, you know how it is. We come into Eleuthera, it's going to be in the mix, in the know, all the good things happening. We're going to see you on April 16th and 17th. Register at tclevents.com.
That's right.
We got a great show today, right?
We do.
always
Lots
have
going
a
on.
great
We
show
always
today.
have a great show going on.
We're going to hear about the team behind the Bahamas Real Estate Exchange. We have a business out of Spanish Wells is going to be talking to us about his presentation at the Eleuthera Business Outlook, and we're looking forward to that. We also have the Parliamentary Registration Department, and it's bringing an update on advanced polling.
That's right. And Karan Smith is here. He's going to be chatting with us on what's happening as it relates to the Eleuthera Business Outlook. And later, we're going to spotlight a stage play called Honorable Members.
Honorable
Super
Member.
exciting. But before all that, let's take a look at weather with Mr. Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Tam, and good morning, Bahamas. Your first look at the weather at sunrise. Ridge of high pressure now building across the northwest and central Bahamas. That old frontal boundary on the central Bahamas now drifting towards the southeastern islands. It's weakening and should fizzle out sometime by late this evening into tomorrow. So today, got a mix of sun and clouds. 10% chance of shower or thunderstorm over the northwest Bahamas. Variable cloudiness, windy with a couple of showers. Maybe a thunderstorm over the central southeastern islands affiliated that frontal boundary. Your high temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy, windy, and mid-mild across the islands with a 10% chance of 1 or 2 showers, particularly over the southeastern islands. And you've seen that front, low going down to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 86 and 77. In Jamaica 91 77. In Trinidad 89 74. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 84 and 71. Across North America, Atlanta 78 and 51. In Boston, 65 and 48. In Miami, 80 and 71. Dallas, Texas, 70 62. And Toronto, Canada, 44 and 34. As we go through the week, we expect some improvement as ridge of high pressure builds across the islands. So we're looking at partly sunny skies, windy conditions, little warmer daytime, mild at nighttime. 10% chance of possible shower because we're moving into a dry period at this point in time. Temperature daytime, low 80s. At nighttime, in the lower 70s. That's what you're up in. First look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. Good old sweet Eleuthera, sweeter than that sugarloaf pineapple. Eleuthera is experiencing major growth in tourism and development. And joining us this morning is Kieran Smith. He is the president and CEO of the One Eleuthera Foundation. And our good friend, he's here to talk about progress and the Eleuthera business outlook.
Sounds good.
Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
It's always a pleasure.
And bring no pineapple in.
Yeah, next time I can bring you some
Next
pineapple
time,
tarts. Or when you come to Eleuthera, I'll have some waiting for you.
Yes, Eleuthera is the place to be. How has Eleuthera evolved over the past few years?
You know, I was just talking to somebody last week about, I remember when maybe 4 years ago, I could wake up in the morning, Mark, and I could jump in my car and I could say, I want to go to Nassau tomorrow.
Yeah.
I jump on that plane and I'm there. Now, I need to book 2-3 weeks in advance. You know, the flight full. I flew in today thinking I could fly out to, this afternoon. Now I'm flying out tomorrow evening because I can't get a flight. But it just speaks to how Eleuthera is growing significantly over the years. So you have a lot of new developments that's come to Eleuthera. Another new one's trying to get to Eleuthera. A lot of people have moved to Eleuthera looking for opportunities because the job market has expanded there. And so what you're seeing on the island is an explosion of economic development. And I think the key thing is focusing on the social development of the people, as well as the infrastructure of the island so that we can have sustainable development happening on the island.
You know, I lived on Eleuthera for, a bit, and it's something about Eleuthera. There's a charm about Eleuthera. It really does feel like one island. There's a connectivity, there's just a culture there that makes it unique. From where you sit, what makes Eleuthera prime for this economic expansion, development, and the changes it's going through?
I think what makes Eleuthera great is everything that you spoke about. Like, Eleuthera is a beautiful place. I think the secret is out now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people come to Eleuthera who are looking for a place for tranquil, who's looking for a place of community. And I think the people of the island has always been friendly to visitors, people come in. I think the uniqueness of, and when you think about Eleuthera, I always think about sustainability. And I think Eleuthera is one of those islands that is very prime for sustainable tourism.
Yes.
And so I think those are some of the reasons why a lot of people have come, especially during COVID, because that's where the explosion happened.
Yes.
That's when the secret was revealed
secret
to
got out.
everybody. So now everybody went a part of that secret sauce, and I think that's what Eleuthera has brought in terms of all of that development that's happening.
So what has been some of the challenges Eleuthera has been facing? We know with growth and development, there's always going to be some challenges. What's happening on the ground right now?
What's happening on the ground? So I went to bed 9 o'clock yesterday, or day before yesterday, and power was out till maybe, I would say, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
And one of the challenges we've seen is definitely power infrastructure. You also see challenges sometimes in the water aspects of the island. And so a lot of it is just infrastructure. The load is, I tell you, a lot of people come into Eleuthera. And so the key now is how do we get the island prime for all of the new visitors and people residing on the island.
You've participated in the Eleuthera Business Outlook before. One Eleuthera has been a great partner of ours. Give us your opinion on the importance of the business outlook to Eleuthera residents and just the wider Bahamian economy?
I think Eleuthera is a good case study right now. And I think the business outlook reveals a lot of those developments that are happening. A lot of people who don't get beyond sometimes your settlement, who sometimes don't know what's happening. I think the business outlook brings a wealth of information, a wealth of people together to commune, to ask questions, to learn more about what's happening on the island. And I think that's why the Eleuthera Business Outlook is so important, because it's bringing together so many stakeholders and so many people with a wealth of information.
It's definitely a powerful space to be in. All the movers and shakers. One Eleuthera, what's been happening at One Eleuthera? What you been up to, and what you got to be doing?
So One Eleuthera, we continuing to grow as an organization, but we are a nonprofit community development organization focused on 5 areas, Mark: education, environment, health, and heritage. But we've been doing a lot of work on the ground. So, for example, we do a lot of vocational and technical training through our Center for Training and Innovation. And what we've done is, just over the last year, We just launched a new primary school initiative where kids can come to the campus and do their physical education classes for swimming. So right now we just launched a summer program, 379 kids learning how to swim over the last 3 years.
That's awesome.
And we also have our food security project, so we're providing fresh produce from South straight up to North Lutheran Harbor Island.
Shout out to Brother Nash, the original farmer.
Yeah, so Sakani is doing a wonderful job.
Yeah,
We have a number of programs. We're about to launch a social good accelerator, which is going to be an accelerator for nonprofits.
Yes.
And so it's a number of developments, a number of programs that are happening. We're about to launch a bird watching and nature trail. So I know you'll be excited about that.
Be ready.
Yeah, so
Man, it sounds like I need to come move back to Eleuthera, man.
you have to come back.
Eleuthera is where it's at.
You have to come back.
Like, hey, man, give him a job on the farm. You talked a little bit about some of the training and the hands-on experiences at the center. Just talk a little bit more about the vision, the mission of CTI, and how people on the island, or even from New Providence, can benefit from its programs.
Well, so over the last, for the last 8, we're about to celebrate 9 years, but the Center for Training and Innovation is all about how do we keep people on the island, how do we make sure that people get the vocational and technical education that they need. And so on the property, we have 3 social enterprises, a training farm, training hotel, restaurant, and our Harbor Island Trade School. And so the whole idea is that when students come to the property, they're not just getting a lesson in the classroom, but they're getting physical hands-on training where students, for example, in the culinary field, they intern in the restaurant. Agricultural students get to interact on the farm. And so all of that is bringing together the practical elements of education. And I think that's the experiential learning that we're bringing to people. And we've been able to provide about $294,000 in vocational and technical scholarships last year for students. So.
Wow. That's amazing. And, you know, again, it's Eleutherians building up Eleuthera.
Yeah.
And again, it's fighting the brain drain. You know, people want to come back home, right? They want to come back to Eleuthera. They want to live, you know, they want to be able to go up and down on the island and get out of Nassau. So what's up and coming for the center? What's up and coming for One Eleuthera?
Well, a big part of it is expanding our training programs. Our Harbor Island Trade School Mark, has blossomed so much.
Yeah, tell us about it.
And so we have a number of programs we do in partnership with a group called the Friends of our Harbor Island Trade School. And they've been significant partners who raise money to provide scholarships to students in North Eleuthera and Harbor Island and Spanish Wells.
That's fantastic.
And so, you know, that's been the engine that's helped to make that happen on Harbor Island, and we're grateful for that.
So are you giving a talk at the Business Outlook?
I'm yes, at the Harbor Island
Yeah.
Outlook, and so I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And we'll be moderating the human resource element of the Central and South Eleuthera Business Outlook.
Fantastic. What do you have to say to Eleutherans watching this program about Business Outlook and attending?
If you're on the island, please attend the Outlook. I think it's a great opportunity to connect with people. It's a great opportunity to learn about what's happening on the island. And it's always a pleasure to come together in community. So I would say, see you at the Business Outlook.
Yep.
And I'll see you Thursday and Friday.
See you at the farm.
See you at the farm.
Tomatoes ready to pick. Thank you so much for being here. Go
Just
ahead.
one thing I wanted to plug, Mark, and if anybody's interested and want to reach out to One Eleuthera and how they can support, please reach out to us. It's info@oneeleuthera.org, and we'd be happy to share any additional information with you.
One Eleuthera to the world.
Yeah.
I appreciate you always, Brother Smith.
Likewise.
We'll see you in Eleuthera next week.
Next week.
Eleuthera, we coming. Y'all make some rum. We bring in some Nassau people, but it'll be okay. This is the good Nassau people. We'll be back.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts.
For over half a century, we've been more than just an airline. We've been a bridge, connecting families, dreams, and memories across the islands and beyond. Behind every seat sold and every journey planned, there's a dedicated team committed to making air travel affordable and accessible to everyone. At Bahamas Air, we're not just building connections, we're building a safe and dependable airline where quality service is paramount and an excellent travel experience is our priority. Wherever you're going, we're here to take you there with care, with heart, and with the promise of unforgettable journeys. We are family, and just like family, we're committed to taking care of our own. Your Bahamas Air is our Bahamas Air, because here at Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
Sustainability is not a choice, it is a responsibility.
We have a responsibility to make sure our organizations are not just growing, but growing securely, equitably, and sustainably.
To create greater opportunities to access today's economic activity.
We're strengthening foundations for long-term prosperity for this year's Business Outlook. Join us April 16th at the ECC Business Hub in Rock Sound, Eleuthera by registering at tclevents.com.
Welcome back. This morning we are talking about the stage production that explores politics, power, and public life through theater. The play is called Honorable Member, and we're joined this morning by writer and director Dr. Ian Strawn. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. So the play Honorable Member, you have to tell us, what is this play all about?
Well, it started as a play in 2017. We've turned it into a film and TV series. It's basically a political satire. It's about Caribbean politics, Bahamian politics, politics in the region, and it focuses on a Bahamian prime minister who's aging and is trying to get his third term in office. That's
okay.
The focus.
So tell us, where did the inspiration for this come from? Because it's political season, right?
Yeah, well, I started, like I said, this was first written in 2017.
Right.
And we've been working on it for about 2 years. It just so happens that it lines up in this way. We didn't we didn't know that's how it was going to be. Okay. But we're happy anyway, so we get to be a part of this energy. So just prepare people, get people ready for the big dance, if you wish, and come and watch the film, yeah.
Okay, so what can people take away from this particular production?
Well, so Honorable Member, the character played by Dion Johnson, he shares the 10 rules of politics.
Okay,
all right,
so 10 rules.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So I think people will find that very, very interesting.
Okay.
But again, it's lots of wonderful performances they can expect, and it just delves into Caribbean politics. Why are we the way we are? The good and the bad, and it gives it a human twist. So I know we're used to poking fun at politicians, so there's definitely a lot of laughs. We also recognize that the job isn't an easy one, and someone's got to do it. So I try to find that balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you cast people for something like this?
Well, luckily I've been around the theater for a long time, and also on the TV show Gippy's Kingdom before this. So there's a stable of actors, but also exciting new faces coming out. So there's a mix of veterans and new people in it. People like Greg Dean, Dion Johnson, Matthew Wildgoose, Leslie Ellis Tynes, Valine Road, many excellent actors. So people can see some really good talent on the screen.
Okay, so when you were writing this, do any of the characters within this particular production align with any of the politicians that we know?
So any similarity between these fictional characters and actual people is entirely coincidental.
Really?
It wasn't at all intended, and so people shouldn't necessarily, no, I wouldn't draw that conclusion.
Okay.
But they could definitely come and have a good time. And some of these things are universal, so they may see similarities, they may.
Okay.
between what's going on in the Bahamas and say Barbados or Jamaica. Or other
Right.
places, yes.
Okay. So tell us, when is the play happening and how can people get tickets?
So it's Saturday. That's tomorrow, Saturday, April 11th, 8 p.m. at the Atlantis Theater. And folks can go to Facebook where they can find information about it, Honorable Member TV series, because it's also going to be a TV series. Or they can go to 10rules.net, which is the website for the film, and there they can get tickets. Or they can just come to the door. They can just come. The door's open at 7:30, so get there a little early, and you can purchase in cash at the door. But of course, the concessions inside the theater are, you need a card for that.
Okay. And what's the price of the tickets?
$40.
$40 for the tickets. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
very affordable.
Yes,
You
yes,
can get
yes.
entertained, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think people will have a good time. They will see a lot of themselves, and they will laugh and they'll be moved. I think I always try to have a good mix of drama and comedy. So yeah, I think people will have a good time. They won't forget it.
Okay. And you said that there are 10 rules of politics
Yes.
spoken in this.
Yes.
Can you share some of those?
I can share a couple with you.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much away. One of them is keep your circle small. That's rule number 2, I think.
Okay.
And rule number 6 is one of my favorites, which is find a gimmick.
Find a gimmick.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Find a
goodness.
gimmick.
That's so fun. How long is the play?
The film is an hour and 53 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be a fun time for people then
Absolutely.
to come out and watch.
Smart casual. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about Dion's character in this.
Right, so Dion plays Winston Ferguson, Fergie, a lifetime politician. He's had enjoyed years and decades of success, risen up through the ranks, and he wants a third term. But he's getting older. His deputy wants him to phase out. You understand? But he's trying to hold on to power. Also wants to control who's leader of the opposition. So he plays chess. He's really a chess player. Okay. So he's managing, trying to protect the party, do what's best for the party, at the same time trying to deliver for the people of Ireland, which is the name of the imaginary country.
Okay. And just tell us a little bit about where your passion comes from for writing things like this.
Well, I've been the first time I had a play staged at the Dundas, I was just 21 years old. No Seeds in Babylon, Pan the Preacher, Mr. Mafuso, these plays. So it's been a journey of really 30 plus years for me. It's a way of speaking to the nation. It's a way of inspiring. It's a way of hopefully pricking people's conscience. And hopefully helping to point the needle in the right direction a little bit. At least you hope so. So it's my way of participating in national life. And you create a community with young people, and I love working with new actors and so on. So that artistic community has been really good for me for my life as well.
Okay. So who should come out to watch this?
Anyone who loves politics, anyone who's going to vote, whether you're PLP, FNM, COI, independent, have some fun, have a laugh. It's going to be stressful, intense, but this is a chance for us to come together as a people and reflect on who we are and enjoy the fact that we're able to do this freely and safely. Right. Make a decision like this every 5 years. That's a blessing, and we're all Bahamians in the end. So. Come out, just have a good time.
Okay. And what are your thoughts? Because, like I said, we are in political season right now. Just what are your thoughts about what's going on in the country right now as it relates to politics?
I always wish that we would have more in-depth conversation, more access to the people who wish to run for office, that there would be debates, that we'd have more town meetings. That it could be more of a question of people really answering serious questions about how the country ought to be run. But we tend to lean more toward having a good time, throwing parties, grills, chills, really mini concerts, free parties for the people. Yeah. And people are pretty lockstep in their ideas by now. But it's not perfect. But I believe people will participate because they know how important it is to make decisions. So I do encourage people to come out, make the sacrifice, and be a part of whatever the answer is for the future.
Right. I'm sure that there was a lot of learning that happened as you were writing this play, right? A lot of research that had to go into this. So what was one of the things that you've learned from this experience?
Wow. The process of making it or the process of writing it?
Well,
Because they're two different. It is extremely hard to do this. Yeah. It is extremely hard. Coordinating, finding locations, the costs, I always write and I try to not, what's the word, limit my imagination, but there are costs to what you imagine. It's sometimes difficult to make it become reality. I wish I could write more remembering the production that has to happen.
Yeah.
So that I save myself a lot of grief. So, less locations, fewer actors. That's probably the way to make it more sustainable. But it is a very difficult thing, and we need more support for filmmakers because it's not an easy thing to do.
Right. If you were to have, let's say, the leader of the opposition and the current prime minister attend this play, what would you want the takeaway for them to be?
I hope they would laugh, because we should not take ourselves that seriously in life, right? Life is short. But then I hope that they would see that despite the commentary, there is a love of country there. There is a want for us to be a better place. There is a want for us to believe in our leaders, to trust our leaders. And I hope they would go walk away and be inspired to be better at what they do for us, because we need them to be. Whether you vote for one or the other, whoever it is will be prime minister, our prime minister, and we want them to succeed, because if they succeed, as a country we succeed.
Right. And for those young voters that might be voting for the first time, any advice for them?
I know that there's a lot of cynicism. People get tired of empty promises, etc. But young people have to be engaged. This is going to be their country. They're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 right now. Eventually they're going to be parents and employees and taxpayers and homeowners, hopefully, and eventually grandparents. So they need to pay attention to what's going on, and they need to know that voting is great, it's exciting, but that's only one part of being a good citizen. Using your voice, speaking throughout the year, being involved, paying attention, writing a letter, having a conversation with an MP, calling into a show, being a part of whatever sort of movement to make things better. And the other thing too is don't look to politicians to do everything and not God. Citizens have a part to play too, right? So start in your neighborhood, your street, your church, your community.
Yeah, well said. So honorable mention, tell us one last time, when's it happening? How can we get tickets?
Right. So honorable member, tomorrow at the Atlantis Theater, 8 p.m., April 11th. Go online to 10rules.net and you can get the information. Go on Facebook, go on my page or the honorable member page, and you can see all the details. Scan the barcode or go on to the Google form and reserve your tickets. You can pay through wire transfer. You can come tomorrow at the door and pay cash. It's a big theater, so no one will be turned away.
All right, awesome. Well, good luck. All
Thank
the
you so much.
best. And thank you for all the work that you're doing in the community as well.
Try my best.
All right,
Thank you
ladies
so
and
much.
gentlemen, you've been watching Bahamas at Sunrise. Be sure to check out Honorable Member. We'll be right back.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
The vision for a national museum of the Bahamas is taking shape, with plans to not only preserve our history, but bring to life in a new and engaging way our wonderful story. Joining me now to talk about that vision is Managing Director of AMMC, Mr. Don Cornish. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. I was asking while we were discussing before we came on air to describe what exactly is the National Museum of the Bahamas and what is AMMC's vision for it.
Imagine that the National Museum is the form of a wheel. So the hub is New Providence. As a country, we are a centralized government, and the people generally consider the Bahamas to be their hub. So of course, here at Collins, not too far away, is exactly where we're located. That is the central hub of the National Museum and the middle of the wheel, if you may. The spokes go out to the rest of the Bahamas. So for example, we do have a National Museum, and we have a museum in Long Island. If you've been to Long Island, you may have seen it near Deadness Key. And of course, we've had a museum in Bimini in the past. We just recently renovated a building in Grand Bahama, which will become the National Museum Grand Bahama. And there are other islands that are coming on stream as well. We fully intend to begin the process of renovating Collins House very soon, and that will be the central hub within the wheel of the National Museum Bahamas.
How does this fit into the bigger vision? Where are we headed on this wheel?
Well, there's several aspects to our responsibility. At AMMC, we're responsible for the antiquities of the Bahamas. That's the paleontological as well as the archaeological history of the Bahamas. And so what that means is that we try to ensure that all our historic sites, everything about our story is told in a way that really envelops the entire country's understanding of who we are, why we're here, and where we're headed. So, for example, we try to ensure that we educate as well as we preserve and promote our built heritage, as well as all of the aspects of how we became a nation over the many centuries of the Bahamas. And so, for example, you'll find we're responsible for the forts, which are the most visible sites, but also we're responsible for artifacts, whether they're underwater or they're artifacts that we can visibly see. And that also includes monuments of different kinds. And so we're trying to ensure that people begin to really embrace who we are as a people, the ethos of our understanding of our history as a people in the Bahamas. And that is part of the discussion that we want to have as we move forward, especially when you think about the whole journey towards identity. Who are we? What makes us Bahamian? And, Dr. Curry would reference some of those things earlier. But the discussions will always be there about, who we are as Bahamians.
What's going to be happening next? Let's say in New Providence, we have the Central Hub. What's next for the Central Hub?
Well, in the Central Hub, we have a number of things. You'll note that there's been some activity at Fort Wayne Castle, the Queen Staircase, the Water Tower. We anticipate that the opening of that tower will come over the next few months, few weeks perhaps. And so there's some things that are going to happen that are going to be more visible there. But in addition to that, we have a number of programs that we're doing around the Bahamas, and that includes having conversations about Pompeii.
Yes.
As you know, Pompeii was made a national hero this year. And we want to talk about how that impacts on our understanding of our history as we evolved as a nation. When the formerly enslaved persons who were in Exuma made a statement about what exactly the hardship meant to them. And, he commandeered a ship all the way to Nassau to talk to the Governor Carmichael at the time, and say, hey, let's have a conversation about the way we've been treated, unfortunately he wasn't able to get to the governor, but that conversation that made him that significant during emancipation, that led to emancipation, is quite important. And so you want to make sure that people understand the impact that had, because very often we look at who was responsible for emancipation, as in the legislative side of things, that made it legal for someone to have their rights and not to be violated. But think about the fact that an enslaved person in Exuma, in a remote place, heard a conversation that impacted on the way that he felt about the conditions of the persons that he cared about. And so he commandeered the ship all the way to Nassau to say, hey, let's talk about it. How many Bahamians have that kind of courage?
Right.
And so those are the kind of conversations you want to make sure people don't overlook.
Right.
Because we have a museum in his honor, but there's no statement about who he was.
Right.
Very few Bahamians can actually point to the life that he had and the impact that he made on our development.
And what's important in the various museums around the country, or the collective National Museum, is that we as Bahamians, we're seeing ourselves in history. We're seeing ourselves in the story. So like you said, somebody can draw inspiration from a Pompey and say, yes, I have that courage. I have that foresight. I want to make a difference like that. How do you see persons reacting around the country to, I guess, our story when they get to see and touch what's in our museums and what you curate?
We want to have more of an inside-out connection with people, meaning that we want to hear the voices of the persons who made an impact. So, for example, in Grand Bahama, we have the voices of Grand Bahama. We've had multiple interviews with significant Bahamians who are still alive, and we've also gone into the archives for the voices of those that we've been able to gather from persons who've taken the liberty of recording them. And those voices are going to be a major part of the expression. And so even when you're outside of the physical building, you'll see, through the use of technology, those faces and hear those voices resonating around the spaces that we have museums in. And so when you go on the inside, it's more impactful. You can actually dissect it. It's been verified, and so it's not just conjecture about the stories. We have urban legends. These are real stories that have been verified and corroborated by our technical researchers and everybody else on staff. And so those conversations are important because we forget so many stories that have value to us. And we think about our own families and the stories that we've lost. And so these experiences are important in kind of bringing the National Museum closer to us. And that's the kind of direction that we want to go.
How do you want the general public to interact with AMMC and the National Museum as you go through this process, this vision building? How should people take advantage of what we have in our collections?
I think one of the key things is really for them to focus on history, not as a kind of a static space in a museum or a physical building, but to see it as a part of their identity. Who we are is expressed best through the things that we actually are responsible to each other for. If I went to a family island, I shouldn't have to ask anybody what I'm eating. If I'm eating stewed fish in Acklands or in Abaco, they should all look, taste the same, and in fact they are. And so those cultural aspects of who we are, how we live, the things that we enjoy, are part of the experience that make us Bahamian, and we have to preserve those for future generations. And so we want people to believe that they're important enough to place value on them by participating in positive activities, protecting the heritage, the built heritage of the Bahamas, not knocking down old buildings, but preserving them and ensuring that they understand that's a part of a style that makes us, it defines us. The language that we use, the way, the habits, the cultural aspects of the way we celebrate, whether it's a church, in the community, these are parts of our experience that we have to protect.
And as you said, it's important that we view history not as something static, but something that continues to happen with each moment.
Vibrancy.
What do you see as the future of the Bahamas in relation to our history? It might sound like a complicated question, but as we move forward, we're creating history every day. Where are we at? Where are we going from here?
I believe that documentation is the best thing. People use their smartphones and their smart devices all the time. I believe that we have to find a way to connect the cultural heritage of the Bahamas. What we have done is we've started putting together a digital heritage trail so that you could use your smart device with a QR code on the building or on the structure or on the space, and you can actually get information you wouldn't typically get about your country, about your food, about locations. And so those are the kinds of things we're doing so that at the end of the day, you don't have to go searching too far. You don't have to go necessarily to a physical space to find it. But wherever you find yourself in New Providence or in Bahamas, you can actually get information about Bahamas, the history, the food, the nuances that make us who we are. And so that's part of the expression we want to make.
I love that. I guess, what do you want to say to the folks out there who want to get involved in some of these projects? They've been hearing this story passed down from their great Grammy to their Grammy. They know about this secret cave with a rock carved into the church somewhere. How do people get in contact with AMMC and contribute towards our national knowledge?
Well, the key thing would be, first of all, to document, either by using the GPS coordinates on their phone locations, or by sending a text to us or calling our phone lines and saying, hey, we have something of interest we want to share with you. And we'd be happy to come and to have a look at it and then talk about how we can create the synergies.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to say on behalf of AMMC to Bahamas Sunrise Nation?
It's good to have a conversation about who we are, and I hope that more people take interest in really sharing with the world the special place that we have, not only in the world in terms of being the landfall necessarily, but also as special people who, when we're placed in the right situation, make a significant impact on everything that we do.
Very well said. Brother Cornish, always appreciate the conversations. Learn so much when we talk. And yes, this is the most beautiful place in the world. And they say God live here on one of these islands, but I can say which island.
We have so many slices of paradise. Pick one.
Pick one. Exactly. Thank you again for the conversation.
Yes.
You're watching Bahamas Sunrise. Be sure to check out your National Museum. That is a part of our ever-growing history and culture. And you are a part of that story. Get involved. We'll be right back.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Sustainability is not a choice. It is a responsibility.
We have a responsibility to make sure our organizations are not just growing, but growing securely, equitably, and sustainably.
To create greater opportunities to access today's economic activity.
We're strengthening foundations for long-term prosperity for this year's Business Outlook. Join us April 16th at the ECC Business Hub in Rocksound, Eleuthera by registering at tclevents.com.
Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas Sunrise. We're up dead early on a fantastic Friday, and it's a mid-show, and you stuck with us. My name is Mark Daniel.
I'm Tamika Cartwright.
We're having a good time here on set, enjoying our guests, enjoying the crew, and it's the weekend, y'all.
It's the weekend.
It is the weekend.
Yes, and the play Honorable Member is
Honorable
happening
Member.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Honorable Member.
Sounds like it's going to be fun.
Go watch the movie. Go watch the thing.
Go watch the thing.
Yeah. Before I go on, I actually wanted to send a big congratulations. So on this show, we had the opportunity to interview many of our athletes that go and represent us all around the world. And I want to say, for our track and field athletes, big round of applause. Yes. To our swimming athletes, our swimmers, 8 straight, 8 feet. Hey, we are definitely doing something right. We celebrate you. We salute you. We can't wait to have you back on the show and keep going. Bahamas to the world.
Right, that's right.
We got more coming up in our second half. We got our good friend Dion Johnson here from the Honorable Member, and we're going to be talking about the orange economy. I just like saying that.
I told you, I think you're going to be leading to politics soon. I feel it. And we also are going to be hearing from the team behind the Bahamas Real Estate Exchange. But before all that, let's take a second look at weather with Mr. Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Tommy, and good morning, Bahamas. Your second look at weather at sunrise. Have a ridge of high pressure now building across the islands. That old front boundary now in the central Bahamas, that's going to shift and fizzle out over the southeastern islands sometime later today. So nice weekend so weather-wise, but that ridge of high pressure supports some very windy conditions, rough surfs, and dangerous rip currents over the next several days. In marine forecast today, those winds northeast to east are 20 to 25 knots, seas 6 to 9 feet over the northwest Bahamas. So we do have an advisory posted, and they may northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 47 feet over the northwest Bahamas. And then over the southeastern islands, those winds east to southeast are 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet, but they will be shifting towards the northeast and increasing 15 to 20 knots by tomorrow, those seas 47 feet. Your tides. You can expect a low tide 8:56 this morning. Next high tide will be at 2:44 this afternoon. Low gain tonight at 8:48. Sunset 7:28 this evening. Rise more at 6:51. UV index 7. Your water temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase last quarter. Your extended outlook. High pressure will be the dominant feature to the weekend, so we're looking at partly sunny skies, but windy conditions, a little on the warm side, mild at night time, just a 20% or 10 to 20% chance of a passing shower. So temperature daytime, low 80s, at night time, lower 70s. That was from your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Tommy.
Thanks, Godfrey. The Bahamas Real Estate Exchange is back and bringing top industry experts, informative sessions, and a vibrant expo. And with me now is Darren Seymour, Chairman, the Bahamas Real Estate Exchange Broker of H.G. Christie. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, my love. It's so good to be here.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the Real Estate Exchange. Give us an overview. What can people expect this year?
We are just a week away.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, excitement is building. And it's an expo. And we're sponsored by, that expo is sponsored by Doctors Hospital. And the key there is affordability and accessibility. Of course, our focus for the conference is development. And what's a development without you? So we want to start off with persons letting them know about what is available to them. They're going to be talking about the LAMP program. We have Carlisle Bethel, who's the manager of their LAMP program. So what that means is that persons can come and sign up for the LAMP. You know, a lot of people don't have insurance. You see a lot of flyers, etc., going out. What we want to do is prepare persons for emergency or whenever situations are coming. We're saying to be prepared. So doctors are going to be there. They're also going to be doing the blood checks, all of the health checks. You can come get a one-stop shop experience. You can come that morning from actually 7 or 8 o'clock and get breakfast from the hotel, British Colonial. And of course, that's at your own expense. And we're going to start the expo at 9 a.m. led by Doctors Hospital. At this expo, going to be businesses like Generac Generators, Kalina Insurance, Fortress Insurance, anything to do with real estate, that is surveyors like Donald Thompson. You're going to have persons there, of course. Buyers and sellers are encouraged to come. We're going to have the banks there. First Caribbean, Scotia Bank, Royal Bank will be there, even Commonwealth Bank. So you can come and at this one stop, get pre-qualified. It's totally free. And take advantage of the opportunities we'll be offering at the expo.
Okay, just tell us again so that people are absolutely clear. When is it happening and where is it happening and what time?
April the 18th. That's not this Saturday, next Saturday. April the 18th. You're going to be there for 9 o'clock. The expo starts, sponsored by Doctors Hospital. Then at 10 o'clock, we go into conference. Okay, that's a paid fee, $50. And persons can come and take advantage of several panels that we're having. We have, of course, our lead sponsors, H.G. Christie Limited. That's my broker. And we have put together a cadre of persons from the real estate community. I'm talking about lawyers, bankers, construction persons, and also the government policy holders. The Bahamas Investment Authority is going to be there. We're going to have also this panel on land reform. We're going to have another panel on development and another one on the history of development in the Bahamas so that every island can know that there is something for them. The Bahamas Investment Authority is going to be there for also foreign buyers and also Bahamian buyers. So it's a holistic approach. We have a guest speaker by the name of Anthony Carey. He's a guest realtor from all of the United States telling Bahamians how they can take advantage of opportunities cross-border, like in Miami. Okay, so you don't want to miss it. There are going to be some unwritten special secrets going to be revealed. If you're involved in real estate, you need to be there. Buyers, sellers, surveyors, anything to do with real estate. Developers, we're going to have developers on hand. The Ministry of Works, come on, and you're not going to be disappointed.
All right. Tell us some of the people. I know we have different workshops happening as well, right? Tell us some of the people that we can be hearing from for this particular event.
Well, this platform is evolving. We've been approached by university in terms of giving credit. So even if persons like in the banking industry need to get professional development, you can come to this conference. The level of this conference it's really attracting university heads approaching us about it. We'll have more about that at the conference, but each session is like a module. So we start off with the market approach by John Christie. He is the managing broker at H.G. Christie, along with some of his top producers. They began giving a market perspective. Then we have the BIA talking about opportunities in the market. Of course, we have a panel on development, including Jamon Campbell, Aaron Davis, Miss Sotheby's representative, Madeline Archer. Then we have other panelists like the land reform, persons like Alistair Chisnell, our first land registrar, who's Mr. Petrocelli Edwards. And then we also have later on another panel. We have Dwight Burrows, who's going to be talking about how pathways to home ownership from Royal Bank. And we have the Bahamas Contractors Association, Mr. Sands, He's going to be talking about some of the challenges we face in real estate, the cost of building. So it's very practical. You can come and get your questions answered. We have persons on the floor like Albert Thompson and Mr. Nordich from H.E. Christie who will be facilitating these questions. Also a banker by the name of Osborne Pratt who's going to be facilitating a session. So come on, everybody's going to be there. You don't want to miss it. We only need you.
I mean, this sounds absolutely amazing. It feels like you've gotten everybody together in one spot just to give us all the information that we need. Thank you so much and all the best with the conference.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
and so good to partner with Bahamas at Sunrise.
Absolutely. So we need to be out there to the exchange next week, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. Make sure that you attend the real estate exchange next week. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back. The orange economy is alive and well, and today we have with us one of the cast members from the Honorable Member. We earlier were talking with Ian Strawn about that, and we have with us Dion Johnson, my good friend. Some of y'all might know him as Happy. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, my friend.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Bahamas, for having me here on Morning Bahamas.
Right, up there early.
Not even Bahamas at Sunrise. On Morning Bahamas. Yeah.
In early, so we get.
My Grammy watching.
Oh, you know it early.
Oh yeah, she up.
Hey, Grammy. So, talk to us a little bit about the Honorable Member, your role, and what's your overall take on the production?
Okay, so my role in the Honorable Member, I am the Prime Minister of Ireland, and everybody knows that they love the Prime Minister so much. You know, he's their favorite choice, and he's deciding to give information. So it's really an information type of a documentary of the life of a prime minister or the life of a politician, and he just gives the basic rules on how to maneuver this game we call life.
Right. Yeah, well, I was going to say, you've been in a number of production plays, movies, radio shows. Those who know you, they know you're really a well-stocked career. What makes the Honorable Member different from any of the other productions you've been involved with?
Honestly, because of what it tries to shine light on in relations to the politics and just the story of not only Bahamian politics, but politics in general. It was intriguing to me because now I can see the life of a leader and then how all of the relationships coincide with one another and the things that you have to do, you know, to kind of keep it relevant. And so all of the other roles that I might have played, I enjoyed them, but this one made me appreciate even more what it is that you have to do in order to get exactly what it is that you want to get. You know?
What you got to do to get what you want.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about your career, where you started and where you are.
Yeah.
There's been more talk about the orange economy, the value of culture. Just speak to it from where you sit, from, you know, being the funny kid in high school, being the class clown, to where you sit now. How did the orange economy now shape your career and your outlook in the future?
Right. So when we grew up in the 19...
Back when everything was in black
Back
and
when
white.
everything was still in black and white, and TV used to turn on at 3 o'clock. That's exactly what it was. There was no real opportunities for us as a country for the regular man to just be involved in this economy. And so now governments have put plans in place to ensure that even as a child, you have access and opportunity to getting it done. As we would have seen a few weeks ago, where there was a meeting of minds speaking about social media content creators. I happen to be a part of a venture called rebeltv.me, and it's a Bahamian content provider, really and truly, where anybody even can go on it, create a free account, and get paid.
Wow.
Now, this orange economy that we have right now is very robust, and with the implementation of CAPUS, the School for the Center for Performing Arts, we have an opportunity for persons to believe in their first dream. And so, whereas I was a child, and my first dream was to become an actor, we now have Bahamians who can do that at home, whose parents may not be able to afford a $50,000 conservatory fee. And so you can do it right here at home. And so things are being put in place for you to actually do your dream right now. And so you don't have to fall on a plan B. Like me.
Hey.
You don't gotta go into teaching immediately.
Right.
You can do teaching because that's your passion. Acting is my passion, and so we have a lot of persons whose passion is theater, whose passion could just even be on screen, on camera, behind the cameras, and we are making it available for persons to be able to do it. Now, what I say to persons in the industry is, don't sell yourself short because of the pricing that you may feel you deserve. You know what I mean? You are worth what it is that you think you're worth, and then you should ask for it. And the market is being built as such, by persons like a Kentaro McKinsey, a Janico Pratt. Like those guys, they're helping to build the industry. DeQuay, they're setting the standard so that when it's time now for anyone, because we don't need international people to come in to tell us, hey, this is how you could do it. We have the professional talent here, and what Bahamians need to have the appreciation for, and this is just around the world for this economy itself, is that your talent is just not worth your time, but because of the experience in which you have, and the time and effort that you put into it, that's why you're deserving the $50,000 for an on-screen performance.
Hey, very well said, Brother Johnson. Before we head out, what advice do you have for the up-and-coming artists, creatives, those who have these opportunities laid out in front of them now? What advice do you have to them as they now begin to step into their new career, into their futures?
Well, they have the world in their hand by the use of technology. So whatever it is that they really want to be, they can be. Don't allow someone to say to you, man, fall back on something else. No, if that's your passion, you follow your passion. There's a network of persons that are available. Teachers are they're the profession of professions. And so listen to your teachers. Do the work that you have to do. Stop just going on YouTube or, I don't want to call any name, but
doom scroll.
Stop just playing the game for 8 hours because you're going to perfect the game. But work on your craft for the same 8 hours, and you will yield the results.
Fantastic. Hey, looking forward to seeing you in the Honorable Member.
Honorable Member.
Thanks for being on the show this morning.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all your successes and the future successes.
Definitely.
I can see my boy on the international award stage, so when I speak it. Hey, thank you, Brother Jones.
Rababu.
Rababu. We'll be back. Y'all go watch Honorable Member.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Sustainability is not a choice. It is a responsibility.
We have a responsibility to make sure our organizations are not just growing, but growing securely, equitably, and sustainably.
to create greater opportunities to access today's economic activity.
We're strengthening foundations for long-term prosperity for this year's Business Outlook. Join us April 16th at the ECC Business Hub in Roxtown, Eleuthera by registering at tclevents.com.
And that is going to do it for us today on Bahamas at Sunrise, kicking off your weekend in the best way possible. Thanks for being with us.
That's
we had a good
right.
show today.
It was a great show.
Wonderful.
All the talent in house, eh?
We have plenty
Yeah.
talent, plenty talent. Before you go, I want to share a nugget from a going home service I attended yesterday from my godmother, Nikki Gomez Dawkins. She is known as a powerful leader, compassionate. She contributed to the lives of so many people. So many love her, so many miss her. But as I said yesterday, when you leave this life empty. Pour out everything you can into the world, into the people around you, into the people you love, and leave it as a better place than when you met it.
Yeah, she surely did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you, Gaudi Nikki. Hey, Bradley, we celebrating you today. We'll see you all on Monday.
That's right.
Beach access!